And you've mentioned the mental health thing a few times. What was going on before that you needed to get help with?
I just, I like, I don't know, it's like PTSD stuff, like lots of just different. I think like I was not dealing with depression and was not dealing with anxiety in ways that were healthy or beneficial to myself. I was like, I mean, yeah, definitely I was being not great in my relationships, definitely being fucking weird and unfaithful and just like really distracted, like anything that could distract me from being um present, essentially present with myself and my present thoughts. Like I would do anything in the world to not have to think for
Mhm.
myself almost. And it turned into a thing where um yeah, I had a really good friend of mine, really good friend of a lot of close friends of mine pass away, and due to suicide, and that was like a huge like blow to a lot of us, and that kind of sent me on a little downhill spiral for a while. And it got to the point where the partner that I was with at the time was like, yo, you need to do something because you're gonna hurt yourself. Like, and it just got to the point where I kind of muscled up some courage to go to therapy and to go talk to someone. And I think that um yeah, it's been life altering for sure, life saving, like a lot more calm of a person, a lot more less agitated of a person. But yeah, I mean therapy is something. It's funny, like my mom's a psychologist. That's what she, I mean, as a kid, it's like going to her, she would be in class and be like, all right, go walk around the halls and like exploring. And like while this woman was like going to school to learn how to help people, and I knew this as a child, I knew this growing up, that like my own mother was going to learn psychology and to learn, be in the field of psychology. And all throughout grade school, middle school, teenage years, like me and her would just butt heads, and like she'd be like, "Yo, I think you would benefit from seeing somebody. Like you're an angry little fuck. Like you're a angry little kid, angry teenager, angry young man." And like I would just be like, "No, you don't know what you're talking about." And like, I mean, guess the fuck she does. Like, um, and it just became a thing that, yeah, finally, and it's been like, yeah, it's been great.
Do you think that graffiti is one of those things that you use as a total escape from reality to try to just like you were saying, not deal with the problems that you're currently facing? So you got problems at home, you just go out. If you don't want to think, you just go out. You focus on just walking around and trying to be aware of your surroundings instead of focusing on whatever problems are maybe deeply present in your life.
I mean, I think everybody does. I think anybody that writes on walls as much as, I mean, this isn't even with intention to like stroke an ego, but like write on walls as much as I have, or like someone that's like, it's compulsive, and you can tell by how someone writes on something. Like it's not like, oh look, they just did a dope spot, oh they just did another dope spot a night later, but like someone that's like scratching on shit and writing on shit like 100 times, and like just like you can tell. I like trying to, when I'll view people's graffiti, kind of be like, I wonder what hand they are, like by how they write on a pole. I'll be like, oh, if the name goes down, I'm like, oh, they're probably right-handed. If the word goes up, they're probably left-handed because of which way they lean. And I'm like, I wonder how, oh, that person's probably this tall, or he stood on this thing, like just like solving these little puzzles. But I think like the people that kind of obsessively compulsively write on things is, it's all like a form of escapism. It's all a form of like this fairy tale that you're achieving this goal, or like, I mean, because you can say it's blowing off steam, which, I mean, fuck, it is, it totally is. But you're blowing off steam, but you're also doing something that's unproductive in a way. I'm not against it, I'm not knocking it at all. Like trust me, I still like scribble sometimes, I still get my scribble on. But um I think it's something that, yeah, you can tell. Like, I mean, you can tell sometimes, you're like, oh damn. Like when I see someone that's super up, I tip my hat and I clap my hands, but I also think in the back of my hand, I'm like, damn, what's he going through?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I like thinking about that shit. I mean, I don't. not trying to pry into no one's life, but it's like it's a thing sometimes. I'm like, fuck, to do this that much, like you are putting a lot of a regular life on hold to have that experience or to like put that much work in. I mean, it is. It's like working a fucking job. Like you do night shifts, you know what I mean? Like if you're about it like that, it's a fucking job, and it's a job that doesn't pay. It's a job that's like you get a pat on your back from some people, but then some people just those same people talk shit too. So it's like it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. I think it's like if it can be healthy for a person, I think they should do it. But I think if it's at a point where it's like breaking someone, I would recommend not to.
It's like you said, it's like putting normal life on hold, because if you just break down the literal act of what you're doing and the times you're going to do this at, which is the middle of the night, most normal people that, have a job, they're asleep in the middle of the night. So you going out and being in this world alone where everyone's asleep, all like quote unquote normal people, you're technically not normal by definition, like no one is really normal outside at 3 a.m. that's not working, just walking around,
Right.
if you really think about it. So
Yeah, I
no,
mean, like insomnia, like you know what I mean. That's a disorder. Like you suffer from insomnia, the inability to sleep, and it's like for a person to almost choose to be an insomniac for a hobby is like that's like you know what I mean. That's kind of like a form of mental illness that's deeper than just being an insomniac. Like now you're just an insomniac by association. Like you're also like this obsessive compulsive person that's like I'm gonna go write this word, like this asinine word all over everyone else's shit. And it's great. You go home, you take a little nap, and you go to work, and you're around all your coworkers, and you're like, yeah, like that's me, but they don't know. And it's like it's stupid, man. It's so fucking corny and stupid. Like graffiti as a whole is hilarious to me, but it's also very important. Like
yeah, no, it's amazing what it can do, because even if you do go out all night painting and let's say you did miss a whole night's of sleep, which is very crucial to have energy the next day, you're messing up your whole circadian rhythm, and it's no joke. But if you do hit a crazy spot, let's say, and then you do go to work right after without going to sleep, in a way, it gives you energy. It gives you like that like ego boost of like the dopamine. It keeps you awake. Like it's like it tricks your mind to you're so hype on that spot that you don't even care about sleeping no more. And it's crazy that what graffiti in a sense can do to like your physical state of reality.
yeah, that's an interesting point.
It's
Yeah,
kind
there's
of like
definitely
if you think about it, it's like essentially a game that a bunch of people have decided this like collective reality that a bunch of people have decided they believe in, that we're all going to follow these kind of there's like there are set rules, we're all going to follow these set rules. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pretend this game is not actually a game, and it's not only a real life but the number one important thing, which is pretty crazy if you really think if you think of it that way.
no, yeah, it's a head trip. Like, I mean, there's been points in time where I've taken it so fucking serious. Like, I'm taking it serious. Like, I have like money invested in this, and like, I mean, I have time invested in it. And it's like, you can look at it all sorts of ways. Like, yeah, time is money, but it's like, yeah, like losing friends over it, losing like fighting, physically like hurting people or being hurt because of like this fucking like scribble scrabble. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like you just burnt down my house, man. Fuck you. Like, why would you do that? It's like, damn, you use blue over red. Like it's little kid talk. Like it's a little kid's mentality in grown men's bodies. Like, and it's funny. Like it's so funny because you can look at it in so many different ways. Like there is artistic aspects of it. There is like historical aspects to it. There is like psychological aspects to it. There's so many different ways you can look at graffiti and hate it and love it. At the end of the day, like at this point in my life, I laugh at it a lot. Like I do laugh at it a lot. I laugh when people cover their faces in photographs. Like That's like one of my favorite. I'm like, just don't be in the photo, bro. Just get out the photo then. Like, why are you got your fingers in front of your nose? Like, what are you doing?